How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be looking at a very interesting resto mod. Just like a couple days ago now, I was scrolling through my Instagram feed and I actually came across this picture posted by Haggerty, and I started to look a little bit more into this car and I figured I just had to share it with you guys. Also, before we get into this video and start talking about this 1968 Dodge Charger, definitely be sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed this type of content, and also subscribe if you're new. I do videos on automotive news, obviously car reviews as my channel's name would suggest, and a bunch of other automotive kind of focused content, as well as, like, you know, your occasional like DIY videos and stuff on my own vehicles. I am going to kind of also repeat myself from the previous video that I posted, and I just really haven't been posting a lot. Now I am pretty much done with college, so I'm gonna have a little bit more free time. Hopefully I can get back to daily uploads, so I really do apologize that, and I'm extremely thankful for all of you guys that have continued to show support towards the channel and still, you know, watch all of my videos. It really does mean the world to me. But anyways, jumping right into this video, as you can see here from an article actually by The Drive. Again, I did see this car originally on Haggerty's Instagram, so kind of credit to them, but also credit to this page. I will be leaving a link down to this down to this article down in the description below. Sorry about that, but here it is. Here is the Hellucination. It's a 1,000 horsepower Hellephant powered 1968 Dodge Charger resto mod, and from the outside, you know, not really knowing much of it, you probably, you know, one that actually kind of knows what they're looking about. They see the wide tires, they see the big Brembo disc brakes on it, and they know, you know, that definitely something's going on. They see also the hood. That's definitely not an original design for a hood scoop or anything like that. But for the most part, to like the general public, this thing is very unassuming. It looks like a typical black 1968 Dodge Charger, but from what we're going to see in a bit, and just, you know, some of the specs of this car, it's really truly an amazing vehicle. And also you can kind of see it here in this picture. I don't know how well the quality is going to actually be for you guys, but you can see that this body is fully carbon fiber. But again, from a distance, it looks like just a regular black 1968 Charger, which, you know, there's not really anything wrong with that car. It's a beautiful vehicle to begin with. But I do really love the kind of new wave and new popularity that a lot of these resto mods have been gaining. Like, you've just been seeing more and more of them, and especially with the addition with a lot of your like just fuel injected newer crate engines, I feel like it's just a lot more easier to make these resto mods. Again, not saying that something to this standard would be easy to make. I think it said somewhere like around 6,000 hours into this build, and it is done extremely well. I mean, professionally well. It's built by SpeedKore. So anyways, going into the actual article, you could see the first thing that this article states is the actual owner of this absolute monster, and his name is Ralph Gillies. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Kind of correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. But he is a car designer himself, and this car was actually built for him by SpeedKore. So it does feature the 7-liter Hellephant crate engine, which I said before, which makes an even 1,000 brake horsepower with 950 brake foot-pounds of torque. And that Hellephant alone, just the engine, it's a $30,000 crate engine. And also on the back, the tires are actually 345s in the rear, which is really ridiculous. There's forged wheels too, and there's 6-piston Brembo brake calipers up in the front and 4-piston Brembo big brakes in the rear. Also, which you can kind of see in this little section of the article, there's no paint on it at all. Everything is just carbon fiber. The suspension has been updated as well. I think it's running an independent rear suspension and AA suspension up front. There's a new roll cage, and just a bunch of different things have just been updated, and it's very like, it kind of has kept the OEM Plus look to it. It doesn't really look like that crazy from the outside with nothing open, but looking underneath the hood, well, actually just looking at some of these pictures right here, I do like the LED kind of demon eye style headlights up here, as well as the kind of complementing fog lights. You can also see the 2 racing seats in the interior, which we'll get to that a little bit more in depth in a bit. Also, in the center cap for these forged wheels does have the SRT logo, which I think is a very nice and subtle touch, as well as the just color of the Brembo brakes. The color matches the SRT with the center cap, as well as it matches the accents and the leather in the interior, which I'll show you guys in a second. But looking at the body a little bit more up close in this picture, you can see that the entire thing is just carbon fiber with a clear coat kind of painted over it. There's no paint at all, and even on the interior, again, that stitching, that leather stitching, is the same exact color of the brake calipers, as well as those SRT center caps. Now, the one thing that I kind of am a little bit iffy about on the interior, and pretty much the only thing that I'm a little bit iffy about on the whole car, is that gear shifter. I know it is like the modern Charger / Challenger gear shifter that Dodge uses for all the different Charger Challenger models, and it does have the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission equipped in this car, but I just feel like I typically don't really like that gear shift design, that style. I just don't like it in the new Chargers. I don't like it in the new Challengers, and I really just don't like it in this. It seems a little bit weird to me. Again, it's something very, very subtle. I mean, the entire build is amazing, and something as stupid as a gear shifter really shouldn't matter that much, but I'm being very, very picky with it. But looking at the dashboard here and the gauges, everything is all, you're still like analog style. They didn't switch over to like one big kind of digital screen, such as I think the Mach-E powered Ford truck that we looked at previously. I did a video on that resto mod, or looking at that resto mod, like months ago now. So if you want, check that out. The link will be on top of the video. But I love the steering wheel. The steering wheel is definitely not an original steering wheel, but with the combination with the leather and just like the simple kind of 3-spoke design on the steering wheel, definitely gives it that very classic billeted kind of look and feel to it, just like the entire centerpiece, as well as the again, the dashboard too. Now, looking in the engine bay is probably, again, the entire car is super clean, but I absolutely love people that take their time with either engine swaps or resto mods, or just building a car from the ground up and making a clean engine bay. It's just, I feel like it's so overlooked and so underrated, and it really requires a lot of skill when you're doing any sort of build. I mean, I know from personal experience helping my dad build his 1981 Pontiac Firebird kind of from the ground up, that was like half a restoration, half of engine / drivetrain swap, and it wasn't anything even close or even imaginably close to this caliber, but it still doesn't look how you want it to in the engine bay, and it really drives me and him crazy. I know a lot of people might kind of overlook it, but a very neat engine bay is just, it's like the cherry on top to a build of this caliber. So now looking at some of the other pictures, I love what they did to the rear, because they changed the rear end too. They changed out the tail lights, excuse me, but they're still the same 1968 kind of small tail light or double tail light on both sides style, and then kind of like the rear valance, or whatever you want to call the silver part there. They kind of just put over, like, it looks like either a sheet of steel or a sheet of aluminum. I would have to say aluminum, because they're going for, again, the weight loss with the whole carbon fiber body and everything. But it looks very, very classy, simple, timeless, whatever you want to call it. Like, it looks amazing. And also a characteristic of Chargers around this time period that I really love is the hidden headlights. Again, this is a 68, so it's a little bit different than the, I think, 69 or 70 that was in like the Fast and Furious and is like super popular with kids my age or even younger, I guess. But I do love just the hidden headlights of the Chargers of this era. And then here is probably my favorite picture of it. And again, this is the picture that I originally saw on my Instagram feed. And when it's just moving, it's for me, I'm not specifically a muscle car guy. I typically like muscle cars, imports, Europeans. I like a lot of cars, that's my problem. But I myself have a Mustang. Again, my dad's a huge muscle car guy, and just the overall, like, the simplicity of mopars of this generation, you cannot beat it. It's very simple. You cannot beat it. Your Plymouth, like your Barracudas, your Chargers, your Challengers, all those cars, all those mopars, those big long late 60s, early 70s boats of that time period are just really beautiful, and are quite honestly probably one of the best looking style of cars when they are as clean as this one is. And also, this thing is estimated to weigh in right around 3,600 pounds for its curb weight, so definitely pretty light for I guess a Charger this year. I'm almost positive that the Chargers of this year were all pretty close to like 4,000 pounds, but again, with all that carbon fiber, you're definitely getting a decent amount of weight savings. But with the more beefier whole drivetrain, including, you know, the suspension and everything else, you're definitely losing some of that weight loss there. So there's definitely a give and take. But anyways, now that's pretty much just gonna be it for today's video. Again, I do plan to post a lot more now that my school work is done and all my finals are wrapped up and everything. So I do really apologize for that, and I appreciate the patience and, you know, all the continued support on the channel. But definitely be sure to do a little bit more research on this SpeedKore 1968 carbon fiber Hellucination Charger. I think it's a really amazing build, and I cannot wait to see more either old school Charger builds or, you know, other resto mods in the future. I love this style build, but I feel like I've been talking way too much, so I'm just gonna wrap up today's video now. Again, if you like this car, if you like this style of content, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new. A lot of you guys who watch my video aren't subscribed, so I really do appreciate it. As a smaller YouTuber, it helps me out a bunch. And also, if you have any positive or even negative comments, definitely be sure to post them down in the comment section below. I love hearing your guys' opinions. But like always, thank you guys so much for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one.